Hello, he's just
Hello, Army. You know, when we think about BTS, each member brings something unique, a spark, a story, a color. And among them, there's one who seems to exist slightly out of time. Someone whose presence feels like a piece of art, quiet, graceful, and deeply thoughtful. That's V, or as some call him, Kim Taehyung. V has always been different, not in a way that separates him from others, but in a way that makes you look twice and think. From the beginning, his sense of style was never about following trends. It was about expressing how he feels. Sometimes he wears clothes that look vintage, sometimes bold and modern, sometimes effortlessly simple. But every look tells a story, his story. Back in the early BTS days, when the group wore coordinated outfits, V would often add something of his own, a scarf, a hat, a small detail that somehow shifted the entire look. He didn't do it for attention, he did it because it felt right. Because fashion to him isn't just about appearance, it's about emotion. If you watch him carefully, you can see how his style evolved as he grew as an artist. At first, he was playful. Bright colors, loose silhouettes, fun accessories. It reflected his youth, his energy, his joy. But as time passed, as he explored himself more deeply, his fashion began to change too. It became more subtle, more refined, as if he started to see clothing as a kind of language. He once mentioned how much he loves classic and vintage fashion, old photographs, timeless cuts, pieces that hold history. There's something poetic about that. V doesn't just wear clothes, he curates them. He blends old and new, east and west, simplicity and drama, and somehow it always feels like him. But his sense of beauty doesn't stop at what he wears. It shows in how he sees the world. V has a photographer's eye. He notices small details. Light falling through a window, the stillness of an empty street, the warmth of a sunset. Those moments inspire him. You can feel it in the photos he shares. Quiet, dreamlike, full of emotion without needing explanation. He also paints, sketches, and collects art. Many fans don't realize how deeply he's connected to the art world. He visits museums, studies classic painters, and surrounds himself with creativity. He once said that art gives him peace, that it helps him understand himself better. Maybe that's why his style feels so natural. It's not copied, it's created. Even the way he moves reflects art. When V walks, performs, or even stands still, there's a rhythm to him. Calm, deliberate, yet full of feeling. On stage, his expressions shift like brushstrokes, from soft to intense, from boyish to timeless. Offstage, he dresses simply, often in loose shirts, wide pants, neutral tones, but there's always a quiet elegance to it. He looks like he belongs in an old film, but somehow he's also perfectly modern. People often call him the fashion icon of BTS. But V doesn't chase that title. He doesn't need to, because his style isn't about impressing anyone. It's about being honest with himself. That honesty is what people see and love. When he wears something, it feels sincere. You can tell it wasn't chosen for cameras. It was chosen because it makes him feel like him. What's beautiful is that his artistic sense spills into everything he does. His music, his visuals, even his silence. When he released his solo work, the aesthetics, the tone, the color, they all mirrored his personal taste. Soft, nostalgic, and deeply human. You can see the same sensitivity that he shows in his fashion, in his melodies too. V once said, "I like things that make me feel calm, things that feel warm." And that's exactly how his presence feels. Warm, calm, thoughtful. He doesn't need to shout to be noticed. He simply is, and that's enough. As the years go by, his evolution continues, not as a chase for reinvention, but as a natural unfolding. He learns, he observes, he grows. His wardrobe changes with him. His art deepens with him. His soul expands quietly behind the scenes. And maybe that's what makes him so captivating. Outer P, he reminds us that true style isn't about standing out. It's about finding beauty in stillness, meaning in simplicity, and confidence in being yourself. So when you see V in his wide pants and soft sweaters, in his vintage coats and gentle smiles, know that every detail carries a piece of his journey. A journey not just of fashion, but of feeling. A reminder that art isn't always on canvas, or in museums, or in grand performances. Sometimes, art is a person. And V, in every quiet, graceful way, is living proof of that. Thank you for watching, Army. If you felt calm listening to this story, don't forget to leave a comment. Share your thoughts about V's timeless style and subscribe for more gentle stories like T, his one. Until next time, stay inspired and keep finding beauty in your own way. End of P.